It's Michael Houghton here for Under 8 Hockey Fundamentals, Lesson 4, Advanced Stick Work. So we're doing 6 lesson plans in this series, and this is number 4. Alright, so today we're going to be playing a game of King of the Ring, or Queen of the Ring. We're then going to go into Activity 1, which will be our shark game. We'll then go into a drill, which will be a time trial, and we'll then go into Activity 2, which will be numbers and letters, followed by a game to finish. So let's break it down. So the first game is called King/Queen of the Ring. Basically, it's played in an area, for example, maybe the semicircle. Every child takes a ball. The players dribble in the area, and they try to tackle the other players while protecting their ball. Okay, so it's very simple. They're trying to dribble the area, control their ball, but also tackle other players. If an attacker is tackled and they lose their ball, then they become a defender only, and they try to tackle the other players. And the last player with their ball is the winner. All right, so you've got 10 minutes for this, so feel free to repeat this as needed. For Activity 1 then, we're going to go into a game which we call Shark Game. Now, it should just be noted that there's a good chance that this won't take 12.5 minutes. So if this is only 5 minutes for this session, that's okay, because the next 2 activities will probably take a lot longer. So feel free to just, if this one takes a short amount of time, then that's totally okay. Basically set up 2 lots of cones, which are going to act as islands. Okay, and then you're going to have the 3, maybe in this case, we've got 3 coaches standing in here, and every player has a ball starting on the blue island. Okay, and the idea here, it's quite fun, especially for younger kids. If the coach gets a stick and just feeds a cone down the top of the stick, then it actually looks like a shark's head, and you can just hold the stick along the ground and move it like a shark. I even do the Jaws music sometimes as I move along. Okay, and all we're looking for to do, oh, sorry, I've got a wrong color there. All we're looking to do is for the players to just dribble the ball to the other island. Okay, the idea of the sharks is that it's trying to encourage players to dribble the ball and get their head up. All right, dribble and head up, dribble, head up, dribble, head up. All right, because a big fundamental flaw in hockey is getting kids to dribble the ball, but they've got their head looking down at the ball. That's no good. We need to be getting the head up. All right, so we're going to be encouraging that as we're doing this game. Okay, we get to the other side of the island, they dribble back again. So we can do that a couple of times over. It's not going to take long necessarily. A few variations that I've played is that you say to the kids that we're going to play the floor is lava, right? So this is kind of version 2. You could then get them to dribble around everywhere except the islands. Okay, so we say that the islands are out of bounds. Okay, during the floor is lava, and then one of the coach will say, floor is lava, you've got 3 seconds. And they've got 3 seconds then to dribble their ball to the island. And if one of the kids doesn't, then that's them gone. All right, or you just make a funny joke about them being swallowed by the lava. All right, so it's quite good. The floor is lava is quite popular, so that's a good variation to that game. We then go into a drill, which is going to be a time trial obstacle course. Okay, now this may not work right for the under 6s to time them. It depends on your group, okay, and where they're at. What we are looking to include here is a left to right drag, which again is a key fundamental. All right, this looks a little bit confusing to set up, but it's not as confusing as it looks. Okay, so we start by having the kids lined up with some balls here. They each have a ball. We set 5 cones up this way, all right, just in front of each other. We then set a series of 2 cones up in this direction, and then a series of 2 cones up here. Easiest idea is probably just write this down on a bit of paper. Pause the video if you need to, just so you've got the pattern. Okay, and at first, I just get the kids to just go through this as an obstacle course. So don't time them at first. Okay, so they're going to dribble through the cones like a snake. Right, nice and easy. Okay, they get to here. We're then looking for this left to right drag. So they dribble to the left cone, and they turn around, dribble to the left cone, and make the drag. Very critical hockey fundamental. If you imagine a defender standing either side of these cones, they've just beaten them on the wrong side. All right, and now we want to see a turn at speed and a fast dribble down to the end. Okay, so we're going to dribble down, turn at speed, and fast dribble down to the end. And once they cross this line and get to this cone, that's where it stopped them. But I'll get them to go through that once or twice, okay, without timing it. And then I'll give them the option to time it if they wanted to. Okay, so again, we may not do this with super young kids. Depends on your age and how they are. Okay, so you can get them to then time it. All right, the best record of this I've seen is about 9 seconds, something like that. There's some from senior hockey players doing this very, very quickly. However, with kids, 15, 20 seconds can usually be pretty good. Okay, so just see how they go. But that's what we're looking to. And the idea is it's not about them beating any other player. They might go through 3 times and they get to see if they can beat their own time. And that's ultimately what we're looking for there. Okay, again, that time trial trainment may not take a huge amount of time, but it doesn't matter too much because numbers and letters generally takes a lot longer than 12 minutes. So let's go and look at numbers and letters. And this is our third activity before our game. Okay, so basically we set up 4 core cones with a ball on each side. And now in this case, I've got 6 players. There's a good chance that you might have more, in which case just set up more cones. Okay, and one side becomes the letters and one side is the numbers. Okay, so we might have A, B, C, 1. No, I'm going to do it this way. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we assign numbers and we assign letters. Okay, the letters will all work as a team. The numbers will work as a team. Okay, and the idea is if A1 is called, I think this is A here, then they're going to come around this side of the cone. Likewise, 1 is going to come around this side of the cone. They're going to grab their ball. Okay, and we're going to look to get them to dribble down the right-hand side. Okay, so we want them to dribble away. We don't want them to go this side of the player. It's the worst arrow I've ever seen. We want them to go this way. All right. So player 1 will come up, ideally dribble around and go that way. Player 2 will come up, dribble around and go that way. Okay, and very, very simply here. Okay, so we've got our drag. We've introduced our drag in our drill. We now want them to apply it. Okay, so again, it's from the Shark game. We want them dribbling the ball with the head up. Okay, so we're introducing both of the things we've done into this final drill. The first player to get their ball stationary between the 2 cones wins a point for their team. Okay, so in this case, right, let's just say that the numbers got there first. Sorry, I see what they were. Then the numbers will get a point. Okay, and then we could do a different combination. So you've got your standard combinations here, A1, B2, C3. Okay, and again, C is going to run that way, 3 is going to run that way. So they're going to go around the cone to get there. And then you can start mixing it up so that there's different kids versus each other. A2, B3, C1, and so on. Okay, so you can mix up your combinations to get this going. Okay, if you do have extra time and you want to mix it up, you can. All right, so that was doing it with dribbling. If you want to, you can put 1 ball in the middle, okay, and then say that they're fighting over the 1 ball to try and control it. Don't pass it, don't whack it. Control dribble over the line. This is ultimately about stick work and dribbling. Okay, there's a couple of combinations. As I said, this game, you could almost run this for half an hour. I have in the past. You could do various variations as you need to. But it's a really good one to do. So don't worry too much about those first 2 activities if they cut short, because we will make it up in numbers and letters. And then finally, we go into our game. We've covered this the last couple of weeks, so we're all good. We know to keep our game nice and small. This was lesson number 4 of 6. So I've got a couple more to do in this series. So do subscribe. And just to note as well, I do have lessons for older kids as well. Thanks again.